Good morning, everybody. Please be seated.
Open order, march! Broad, dress!
Allan, back. Front rank steady. Middle rank steady. Everyone, back. Middle rank steady. On front.
Order, all! Stand at ease!
On behalf of the headmaster, the staff and the learners, I would like to extend our heartfelt welcome to all guests present here today A special word of welcome to the family of the late Allan and Barbara Dietrichsen. Dear bereaved family, I offer our deepest condolences on the loss of your loved ones. Losing someone we care about is never easy, and our hearts go out to you during this difficult time. As the author Fanny Crosby once wrote, "Earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot heal." While it may not lessen the pain you are feeling now, I hope this quote can offer you some comfort in knowing that your loved ones are at peace in a better place. Please know that our prayers and our thoughts are with you during this difficult time. Now call on the headmaster, Mr. Andrew Dewar, who will deliver a tribute on behalf of the school.
Today we gather to pay tribute to Allan and Barbara Dietrichsen. Allan dedicated 16 years and 4 months of his life to Selborne College as our esteemed estate manager. Allan was a man of passion and pride, and he loved nothing more than his job and the campus he called home. His unwavering commitment and tireless efforts have left an indelible mark on the school and our community. Barbara was as much a part of our school, embracing and loving and playing a supportive role to Allan, and was dearly loved by all who knew her. Allan was a true Selbornian, and he took great pride in overseeing the campus's growth and its development. He had a meticulous eye for detail and was always eager to take on new projects. He particularly enjoyed the annual Founders' Day celebrations, which he helped over the many years to organize with great care and attention to detail. His dedication to Selborne College was evident in everything that he did, from the smallest task to the most significant projects. Allan was a familiar face around the campus, and he could often be seen driving his beloved Big L golf cart. Lately, Barbara became a part of Allan's day-to-day operations as he set the example for all of us by being a dedicated, compassionate and caring husband as Barbara battled with dementia. He was a regular fixture at our derby days, and his enthusiasm and passion for the school were infectious. His positive attitude and friendly demeanour made him a beloved member of the Selborne community. He and Barbara will be sorely missed at Al's corner of the Whippet at functions, festivals and after derby days. The Father's Club and the Mother's Chair ladies and Mother's Chair groups who worked very closely with Allan remember him with respect and have many fond memories to share. He had a wonderful sense of humour and was always a joy to talk to. Allan was instrumental in the success of our derby days and festivals over many years, and he has always went beyond the call of duty. He will be fondly remembered. Barbara was very much a part of all of that, and she also will be fondly remembered. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Allan and Barbara's children, grandchildren, and their family and immediate friends, closest friends at this difficult time. Allan and Barbara's legacy will live on in our hearts and minds for all of us who had the privilege of knowing him. We will miss his infectious smile, his unwavering dedication, and his unbridled enthusiasm. Rest in peace, Allan and Barbara Dietrichsen, and thank you for all that you have done for Selborne College.
Next tribute to the family will be Mr. My Cousins, a long-serving colleague at Selborne College, and a very close friend, Mr. Cousins.
Good morning. It's a real privilege and honor to speak on behalf of the Dietrichsen family. I was quite surprised when I was first asked to speak, and I was trying to comprehend why I was asked, and I thought maybe it was because we both drove Nissans, we both had the same body shape, we both had quite a red tinge to our face, and we were often sunburned, and we both had the biggest noses at Selborne when we worked together for a decade. But the real reason is because he was a man you could love at Selborne like no other man. He wore his heart on his sleeve. When I see past chairmen of boards, I see estate managers of other schools, I see parents, I see headmasters, headmistresses. Allan was someone that was loved by all people, from all places, and we honor him. It's an honor to speak about Allan today. We knew him as Mr. D. Some of us called him Big Al, and his nickname at Selborne was sometimes Rusty. What immediately comes to mind for me is a big man with a big heart, with a big smile, with a big handshake, and probably the best man hug at Selborne. Allan gave his life to Selborne College. Mr. Dewar mentioned that. The beautiful grounds, the capital projects. As we move through Selborne, we think and we see Allan in all those things. The Broadhouse flats, the hostel, the science block, these beautiful stands that we watch our derby days on, the bell tower, the music center, and for me, most importantly, was the water polo pool. This bears testimony to the energy and effort he put in. I had a lovely call from my past principal, Mr. Sam Gunn, and he told me that Allan Dietrichsen would meet him between 5:30 and 5:45 every morning to discuss the events of the day at Selborne. And Allan was never late, he was always well planned, he always had a strategy, and that is reflected in what we see around us here at Selborne. Allan was incredibly obliging. He didn't know how to say no, and our academic staff who was sitting in front of me will know whenever you asked Allan for anything, he would deliver. He would put it down in his diary, he would never moan, and he would get things done. They say a boer maak 'n plan, but it's really a Rhodesian maak 'n plan, because Allan was a roadie, he was a skilled tradesman, he was a sheet metal worker, he loved fixing things, he could fix tractors, he could fix anything, and he always got the job done at Selborne College. And I think he saved this institution a heap of money through his expertise and his excellence. You know, Allan was always prepared to do the dirty work as well. I was chatting to Mr. Hartwenger, and he was telling me from a rowing perspective how Allan would always fill up the fuel tanks. He would always license the trailers. He would always make sure the boats were in order for regattas. I can remember watching him perform miracles at the water polo pool, making sure there was scaffolding to be filmed, making sure that we had a middle start in the water polo pool, and these were all things that meant such a lot to us. There are many things you don't know about Big Al, and I just want to share those with you. Okay, we know he was a Rhodesian, and he went to North Lee High School in Bulawayo. He was a top snooker player. He was a top boxing referee, and some of my happiest times at Selborne was when we got into a conflict situation, and I knew he was standing next to me, and I knew I could say what I wanted to say because I always had a big backup from Big Al. He had a passion for restoring VW vehicles, and the one that most of you won't know, that he was head coach, Mr. Scholl, of the Border indoor cricket team, and he took an indoor cricket team that toured to the United Kingdom. He had a passion for wildlife, and his caravan that he used to migrate up to the Kruger National Park every year, and the excitement used to begin around October, and he used to chat about tiger fishing in Kariba and the wonderful times he would have with Barbara and getting away and putting his feet up. Some of my fondest times were in the Whippet at Al's Corner, sharing a whiskey, 100 pipers with Mr. Dietrichsen. He loved country music. He was a staunch All Black supporter. He loved pork chops and steak, and he loved taking Barbara on a Sunday to the Community Hotel for fish and chips. But some of his best moments were actually watching you Selborne boys play rugby. He used to sit in the corner there with Mr. Norman, and often in his tactful, diplomatic way, he would come and tell me what I needed to work on with my under 16A rugby side, and most of the times he was spot on. Allan was respected and worked closely with both academic and all realms of our staff. He was really the bridge between all sectors of our staff and all parts of the school. He was a very useful member of our governing body and made massive contributions in those governing body meetings. And there are a number of chairmen of governing bodies who will endorse that. And I see Mr. Moss sitting there. He was particularly fond of you, and you guys were an enormous team and achieved so much at Selborne, and I thank you for that, Mr. Moss. There's a quartet at Selborne, which Mrs. DeToy and I know that you don't get on the wrong side of, and that is Mrs. Viv Bader, Mrs. Shelley Stevenson, Mr. Des Norman, and Mr. Allan Dietrichsen. And one of the highlights of my day was coming in early and seeing that quartet, having coffee, solving the world's problems, a very happy place to be and to spend time in. And I'm sure that quartet will be missing a significant member there. Then he would go on his way. The next part of his day was walking. He loved the admin staff. He'd go and greet them every morning, and then he generally walked down the passages and greet the bursar and greet everyone in the school. And that was what we remember Allan for. Mr. Dietrichsen gave 16 years of his life. Mr. Norman and him started together at the school, Mr. Des Norman. And when I had a meeting with Mr. Norman, he told me that in June this year it would have been 17 years. And those two guys went together like peas and carrots. They were an incredible team. He started on the 2nd of January in 2007, and he worked under and with two great principals, in Mr. Sammy Gunn and Mr. Dewar. I was chatting to my good friend Mace yesterday, and Mace was saying to me how magic it was to work with Mr. Dietrichsen. Nkosi kakhulu amadoda, yasebenza kamandi ko Mr. Dietrichsen. Mace, Boise, Gooch, Edmund, Isaac, Kidwell, Major, Richard, and Bongi. You worked closely to Mr. Dietrichsen. He loved working with you. You guys will feel and miss him more than most of us. But Nkosi kakhulu amakosa. Mr. Norman tells a fantastic story, like only he can, from Bolo. He tells me one day Mr. Dietrichsen and him had to put up a very expensive clock in the hostel, and Mr. Dietrichsen wanted this clock to be perfect. So Mr. Norman said he was very nervous when he had the drill in his hand, and he was trying to make sure that this clock was going to go perfectly. And Mr. Dietrichsen said to him, Mr. Norman, is this clock 100% straight? Can you come back and make sure that this clock in the hospital is perfect? And Mr. Norman came back. He was a little bit nervous. He looked at the clock and he said, Mr. Dietrichsen, I think this is 100% correct. And Mr. Dietrichsen walked back to the clock, and as he touched the clock fell down and broke into thousands of pieces on the floor. And Mr. Norman said to Mr. Dietrichsen, why did you touch the clock? It was 100% perfect. So they had to spend the next few days trying to find a clock that was similar to that, get it back in the hospital without anyone being aware that the clock was in a million pieces. Mr. Dietrichsen loved well-managed Selborne boys, but he had a very soft spot for those naughty boys that did grounds with him, that always came and collected a rake or a spade or loaded a trailer for him, and his heart was always with you. Our Selborne academic staff knew you could always rely on Allan. He never said no, he never forgot anything, and he always completed the job. Trivial jobs like gluing the soles of shoes of some of our lady staff that were walking with talking heads around the passages in the school. He would often lend staff a garden tool that we didn't have because we don't earn a lot of money as teachers. He would often drop and fetch us when we had our car service. He was just always there for us. He would often be running around looking for bolt cutters, and we see Allan in our classrooms every day, in our computer centers, in our staff room and in our bathrooms. Mr. D was decent, reliable, dignified, respectful, and also very straightforward. Often staff would drop a request or a load on him at last minute due to very poor planning, or an emergency would crop up, and Mr. Dietrichsen would carry out that request quietly. He would grin and bear it, but sometimes we did see smoke coming out of his ears now and again. I want to say each and every Selborne staff member to the family is going to miss Allan massively. We're going to miss him massively. And when I was walking through the campus this week, I could just sense the stillness and quietness at Selborne College, and that was because Allan and Barbara were no longer with us. Mr. Dietrichsen was an example to me in the way he loved and supported his family. His late wife, Auntie Barbara, his patience and kindness was evident for all to see as he drove around caring for Auntie Barbara, especially in the last 2 or 3 months. I want to say to his daughter Lana and Cage, he loved you guys tremendously. His eyes used to light up when he used to talk to me about you two, and especially he loved Cage when he used to talk about the way Cage used to hit a hockey ball on the AstroTurf, or how Cage was doing so well in his work. That was, I think, his happiest moments. So Cage and Lana, Allan loved you guys desperately. He would take his clothes off his back for his family. He will be missed by his entire family, his brother Mark, his sister Dawn, his son Sean, his daughter Lana, and most of all Cage. Mr. Gunn said something that stuck with me. He said he wished Mr. Dietrichsen, Allan, was that he could have had a few years in the sun, that he could have had a season to relax, He could have had a time to put his feet up, and as you young Selborne guys would say, a time to chill. But that was not to be. I'm not sure how we will cope not seeing you around the campus at Selborne College. You will be missed so much by everyone. Your legacy lives on at Selborne forever. We see you in the buildings and on the campus. You have left your mark, and I'm sure you are looking down, you and Auntie Barbara, with pride on Selborne College now. Rest in peace, my friend Al. I will miss the big hugs from the man with a big heart, and most of all, I will miss the Fish Eagle ringtone reverberating around the Selborne campus. Palm of the Tutti, the walk to the break.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cousins. And now I invite Mr. Reynolds, who will deliver the eulogy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Could we just bow our heads in prayer in remembrance of Big Al and, of course, Auntie Barbara. Lord, we just commit their spirits to you now, Father God. We knew that they could not be alone, apart from one another on earth, let alone in heaven. Heavenly Father, that we thank you that you prepared the way, taking Big Al first, because he knew that Auntie Barbara was on her way, that he could take care of her. So Lord, we thank you that they are reunited with you in heaven, Heavenly Father, and we pray that they may spend an eternity together. Amen. From dawn, Uti, we were taken so suddenly, but now I understand why. Bobs, you slipped away peacefully into Butti's loving arms. Both of you loved, supported, and advised me most of my life. We made so many wonderful memories that I will always cherish. I'm heartbroken. Will love and miss you both always. Rest together in eternal peace. Your everlasting sister. I actually don't know where to begin. I've only been part of the family for the past 2.5 years, and the impact that both Auntie Barbara and Uncle Allan have had on my life has been nothing short of amazing. I can relate to the big hugs, I can relate to the hard handshakes, and just the love and the affection that oozed out of Big Al, Uncle Allan, Opa. His love for his children and his grandson was something like I've never seen in my life before. His commitment and dedication to the work, irrespective of what time the phone rang, somebody at the gate, somebody needing a school bus, whatever it is, as you heard in the previous speeches. But I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come here that we may celebrate Auntie Barbara and Uncle Allan being reunited together again. And we'd just like to extend an invitation to everybody that would be interested in joining us for the wake at the Danube Hotel, which was the favourite watering hole on a Sunday. Not only did Barbara love the fish and chips, but she also loved the ice cream and milkshake. I haven't been somebody that has a sweet tooth, but of late, Auntie Barbara insisted that I taste her milkshake or ice cream first. So that will be sorely missed by every single family, relative and friend over here. And it's been an absolute honour to be able to stand before you and say thank you. And may Barbara and Allan rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reynolds. I think one memory that most of us have of Allan was his ability never to get cold. Never seen Allan with a jersey or a jacket, always in his shorts. And we all knew that it was really cold. He would wear something, and we always tease Allan about wearing a jacket. I'm now going to call on our cheerleader, Ruth in the masthead, to come forward to lead the school with the singing of On the Waters of Victoria. Ruth.
Please stand. From the waters of Victoria, as the large gents. 3, 2, 1.
From shores of Southwest Africa to the borders of Australia. We have spread our college way before. We have never bowed our knees. For we are the Selborne black and white Selborne college boys are we. There's a cheering as we take the field, and our hearts are filled with pride. For we know our boys will never rest, for we are the Selborne. Selborne!
Proud of Selborne. Three, 2, 1.
And now please invite the rest of the congregation to please stand for the last post. Gentlemen, can we please be quiet?
Guard of honor! Attention! Shoulder on! General salute! Present on! Proud turn. Quick. More.
The headmaster, the staff, the pupils, I conveying a heartfelt word of gratitude to all of you for attending this memorial service this morning to honor the lives of two great family members of Selborne College. All guests are invited for light refreshment to the empty center while the learners will enjoy their first break. And guests, you may make your way to the empty center. The learners just hang on please.